This is my review of Stellaris on the Xbox One. Also in this review I'm going to give you a little bit of the history. I've been playing these sort of games a long time now. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's informative for you.
These are unknown spacefaring entities. We can learn more about them and maybe even initiate first contact. Hostile fleet engaged.
Hello, this is a bit of the history of these type of games. I used to love playing these sort of games. I've been playing them most of the time that I've had computers and things like that. This is one from 1988, Stellar Crusade. No gameplay footage, this is just off Wikipedia. And this is Master of Orion from the 90s, 1993 I think. Fantastic games. They did a Master of Orion too. The same concept. You're alone, and then you expand through the galaxy, colonising planets, and there's ship designing, technology, research, other races you come across, and you end up fighting with them, obviously. And it used to be a matter of sending as many ships as possible, but sometimes, you know, the aliens would have an higher technology, and you'd be gone. And they were very aggressive on the whole, and they were quite tough games to play because you'd pour a lot of time into them. And then one of the last ones I played before I switched to console was Space Empires. In fact, it was Space Empires 4 or 5 I think I played, I can't remember which one exactly. And you can see there's a theme here that they're all basically the same game, and Stellaris Console Edition is pretty much just an extension of this. But the big thing that you're noticing, there's a lot of menus in this, and you can see that there's a mouse pointer going on there, and that's the biggest sticking point for me, is that this game, even though we've got keyboard and mouse support on the Xbox, doesn't support keyboard and mouse, and that's a major spanner in the works. I'm just showing you the menu here. That's your control setup. God knows what Japan means, by the way. I mean, I know it's a country, but why would you have a preset and controls called Japan? You can reverse the y-axis though, which is always handy for someone like me that was brought up on flight simulators. Coming soon. That's the DLC, so they're obviously going to try and milk us. This game costs £32. So I think I've spent enough already. Now you think to yourself, alright, I'll just get playing. I'll make my own race up, and I'll make my own empire from the start. So you can see what I'm going through here. It's quite complicated, and it's very, very PC game, and there's very little help for a lot of it. So I'm going on to create one here, and you can see the process. This is, you got to bear in mind, this is before you've even started the game, and it starts being very, very complicated straight away. And you think to yourself, oh well, stop moaning about it. But just wait and watch, see what happens. You've got to fill loads of stuff in. So this is going to be a little bit convoluted and a little bit boring to watch, but this is stuff I think you need to know, because you're going to have to do this before you can even start a game. And you might think, well, yeah, what's the problem? But you have to just wait and see. There's a little Tales of the unexpected twist in the tale at the end of this. I mean, objective. What do you want to put an adjective in for? I can't even remember what an adjective is. I know it sounds like I'm being negative, but this is not your usual console game. It says console edition, but it's basically a direct PC port by the look of it, but without the PC controls. And I've played probably 25 hours on this now, this week, and I've found it not really much easier now to control than in the first hour. And there is a type of a help in this game, but I'll cover that in a little bit. You see the red writing there? It's telling you something's not right, which is fair enough, you know. But I find out what the problem is, and then I fix it, and then I'm going to carry on. There's a lot of options, so that's a good thing. You can change the background and all that. Oops, that was my cup hitting my pop filter. This pop filter causes more noise with me hitting it than I think my voice popping does. Yeah, got another field to fill in there, and basically I've cut a minute out of that because it just went on a bit, and I don't need to be that comprehensive. But bearing in mind, you know, we haven't even started playing yet. This is just setting up a game. And you got to understand this isn't your average console game. There's a lot to it, and this review, I'm hardly touching the surface. You know, I'm 20 plus hours, probably 30 hours into the game, and I've hardly scratched the surface. And with a review like this, with especially being so outside what we usually get on consoles, it's a difficult one to review, because it's so complicated. I mean, look, we've started in the ship types and all that kind of thing. What weapons you want to start with, default weapons. They've all got differences, and then what type of ship you want. You've got limited ship models, but you can design your own ships, but you need to research technology first. Now this is where, look, all the writing in red is problems. It's like trying to fill one of them forms on the internet, and it sends you in a logic loop that you can never get out of, and in the end you just forget about it. And you'd end up not signing up onto the website or whatever. So, you know, I did end up making my own, but just for this footage for the review, I'm showing you the rest of the menus now. This is more game thing, and I want you to notice the writing in red there. This game is not eligible for achievements. This game is not eligible for achievements. I'm assuming you understood what I've said there. And also, the game doesn't keep any stats at all. So you're thinking, you know, why is that? I'm on about in like the Xbox Game Hub. There's literally nothing there. It doesn't keep any records at all. Now there is a way to play it with achievements, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But for me, it's a stupid way to play a game like this. And basically, you got to set the Ironman mode, and it won't let you save when you want, and it won't let you have multiple saves, which basically I think in a game like this is a bit of a crime, because a lot of the fun with it is having these what if I do this, what if I do that. But that instantly, if you want achievements, that takes this off you. See, now I've gone to Ironman mode, one save only, and it's when the game wants to save it, not when you want to save it. And I think that's intrusive, and I think it's unnecessary and stupid, and it's an extremely bad design decision, because at the end of the day, achievements don't really mean out, do they? It's not like they're giving you any money, is it? Or actually giving you anything. It's something that you get for playing on your Xbox and putting time into it.
Blessings upon you, Your Holiness. I am Veer, a prototype synthetic intelligence. The priesthood has ordained me to act as your faithful servant and advisor.
This is the help,
on our divine path to the stars.
and it's very, very intrusive. And what happens when it comes up, you can't do anything else.
You're making a terrible mistake.
And if you don't realise you can't do anything else, it gets frustrating, because the way you navigate in this game is you use the D-pad. Left for the left menu, up for the top menu across the top there, that's like your resources and stuff. And then the right menu, that's all your planets and ships and other things. And at the bottom is like information, you know, like pop-up information, you know, game critical stuff. Now at the moment it's paused, and you start the game going by pressing the Y button, and then you can make it go faster. If you had the sound effects, they're like something out of a 60s sci-fi film, or like the stuff I watched when I was a kid, like Space Patrol and Fireball XL5. And so that's where we've started off. This is just an example. So that's quite a big area, and the blue area is our area. But there's a lot of confusion for me with the way that the control works. Using the D-pad for left and right menus and up and down, and you very rarely get to use the sticks. There isn't even a cursor mode that you can use. But this game really needs the mouse more than anything else. I mean, maybe it's because I've played all them other games all them years, and I'm so used to playing these games with the mouse and the keyboard that I'm finding it hard to adapt. But it's just stupid. This is a PC game, and they've stripped out the PC controls completely and replaced them with controller ones, and that just seems ludicrous that you can't have them both. And I can't see why they do that. You see, this is what you do in this game. I've sent a science ship to this star system, and it's now surveying it, and that sort of thing works very well because it's sort of automatically doing it. You don't have to go around every single planet in there. The AI will do that for you. And I like I said, I like the sound effects. I like the game. I do like the game. And it's very, very complicated. I'm only just starting to understand it after, you know, getting on for 30 hours of playing. But it's really hardcore. But again, you know, it's the controls that's really hurting my enjoyment. See, it won't let me save because it's the Ironman mode, and for some reason it's treating the achievements like it's something that it don't want to give
Anomaly
you,
found.
even though it don't matter. And that's going to annoy a lot of people. I'm not too bothered about achievements, but I am bothered about how many hours I've played stuff. I want to know. It's a bit geeky, but I want to know, and I want stats. And it doesn't give you any of them. Anyway, it's all sounding a bit negative. I know that, but the game is complicated, and the help tries to help, but
the victory screen lists
like this.
certain conditions that we can strive to fulfill to ensure that the legacy of our star nation will endure for as long as there is intelligent life in the galaxy. Tile blocker clear.
See, if you close it, next time you go on it, it comes back. So you have to close it and don't show again, in which case you're probably not going to get what's going on. So it becomes intrusive, because every single time you move to another menu, it'll come up and tell you the same thing, unless you tell it not to. And I think that's its idea of a full tutorial. It doesn't actually give you a tutorial, as in like...
The situation log displays a list of all currently available special projects and various other points of interest. New items will likely appear as we begin exploring the galaxy.
Like that, you see. Now every time I go to that menu, unless I tell it not to show me it again, it will show me it again, and it will talk. This is the That's all your resources at the top. So you got all the resources at the top, so that's D-pad up to go to them, and then you use D-pad right and left to navigate it. And then you have to press the B button, I've discovered, and then press D-pad right, and then you can go on the other menu that's to the right of the screen, or vice versa to the left of the screen, or again to the bottom of the screen. But I've got a really big screen and I sit right in front of it, and you would think that'd help you, but it's not. It doesn't help you because you have to actually move your head around to see where you're moving things. You can't just move your eyes, and it just gets harder and harder. So that's what a building screen, you see, that I was on there for building ships, because obviously, you know, you can do everything, can't you? You have to research everything and do everything and micromanage every single thing, and that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. So here I'm just sending the colony ship, and it's very flexible. You don't have to be on the colony ship, not the colony ship, building ship.
Tile blocker cleared.
And it will go right across the universe to where you want it to go without you having to micromanage it too much. So if you just go to where you want, select the ship, you don't then have to scroll all over the map all the time to do it. So I found a black hole here. Black holes are theoretical as well, by the way. Yeah, there's a difference between theory and fact, isn't there? Oh look, I've lost somebody. But that's what goes on, you see, in this game. It's very comprehensive, and that's a planet view. So each one of them squares represents a resource square on the planet. So, you know, we're getting deeper and deeper and deeper into this. And this is a lot to take in. Look at all the different tabs there is with the left and right button there. You will start to understand it. But it just takes some time. And like I said, it's not your normal console game.
Incoming transmission.
And so far, I've not had any crashes or any bugs that I've found. Which again, oh, there's an alien race. It's trying to deal with us. And the way that this is my own setup. This is my own species, and they're xenophobic, basically. You know, they don't want contact with anybody. So it's making the game hard. This is you can zoom right into your ships, and here's the 60s, 1960s and 1950s sound effects. And that's
debris analyzed.
Yeah, see. And then you have to press a button.
These are unknown spacefaring entities. We can learn more
and
about
this is
them, and maybe even
this is the help again, you see. I guess it is helpful, but it does get in the way, especially early in game, because you're trying to make the controls do things, and it won't let you do anything unless you get rid of the help box. And this is a battle that I ended up in, and I won that one. And that's my ship's just zooming off, and there's a bit of debris there, which I can then send a science ship to and scan it, which I did do, but I won't bother showing you because it's too convoluted. In fact, that was a little bit earlier, scanning that bit of debris. It was only about 2 minutes ago or something. See, I've actually seen it. And this is where I lose every ship that I've got. Which came as a bit of a shock. I don't think I even killed one of theirs.
Situation log updated.
Where's the British in now, man? We're gonna get our asses kicked.
That's out of Aliens. Hudson. Yeah, this game is difficult to assess, isn't it? With the view to whether whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. because it's very personal, isn't it? It's very, very personal as to whether you're going to enjoy this game or not. I'm not really in a position to sort of say buy it, don't buy it, you know, just for them reasons that
Situation updated.
that it is personal, and you may love this sort of thing and you may hate it, and it's not very action packed or anything, but this is a sort of game. It's sort of really grown up, isn't it? If you know what I mean. You can put hours into it, and hours and hours and hours, and there's a possibility that you'd never get bored, and that you'd never fully exhaust all the possibilities either. There's a huge, I'm not even showing you it, a huge tech tree in this game, and you have to do research, and then when you've done the research, you can then apply that technology to your colonies, your ships, and the game. And because the game's so complicated, I can't tell you how it pans out, because I'm just showing you some footage here from me just generally playing. It's not got any real bearing on what I'm saying. In the other games that I've played, like especially Master of Orion, that was one that really sticks in my mind, is you'd think to yourself, you've got a massive advantage, but what's going on in the background is that one of the AI races is getting a much superior technology to you, and you'll turn up literally with like thousands of ships, and they'll turn up with 2 ships, and you'll think to yourself, I've got to make, 'cause you used to have a battle screen on them games. This one's different. This one does not behave like that with the battle screen. So on Master of Orion, you'd have them lined up, and you did have some limited control over battles, which you don't seem to have in this particularly. The battles just seem to happen in this. I mean, you've seen what it looks like. You get it. It don't zoom straight to them. You actually have to go find them.
This would double the speed at which we can survey our galaxy.
I'll just let you listen to this. Oh no, you stopped talking.
We should now be ready to extend our great civilization to a second world.
Yeah, I'm just saying that this game, it'll give you a notification, and then you have to then go to the notification that's at the bottom of the screen, and then you get the option to sort of zoom in.
We have explored some of our neighboring stars. It might be time to extend our reach. Frontier outposts can be built in orbit around distant stars to expand our borders, essentially allowing us to lay claim to new regions of space.
Yeah, I'm just letting you listen to that. That's the help. So, you know, it sort of is helpful, but on the other hand, it can be unhelpful. I was talking about the battles, which has not been many of in this for me. I mean, that'll come later. That's sort of like a mid-game thing, isn't it, in these kind of games?
The Spaceport tab is where we view orbiting fleets, build new ships, and upgrade the station itself. If a planet has no spaceport, we can order the construction of one if we have the necessary resources. Yeah,
you see how it can start getting intrusive, can't it? Because when you're playing, you're not going to remember all this, are you? You're just not. Anyway, Master of Orion, you'd turn up and you'd have, say, 1,000 ships, and they'd have 2, but they'd got this like singularity weapon, and they'd literally destroy all your fleet with one shot. So I don't know if that sort of thing that can happen in this, but that, you know, obviously that sort of thing happening in the game can be annoying, but it's also amazing when it happens.
The supply of minerals and energy credits is critical to the well-being of any interstellar power. We should take steps to increase our production of these resources.
Yeah. You see, that sort of help just gets on my nerves, because it interferes with your train of thought, and that's why I've done this bit of the review like this. It's interrupted what I've been saying, and it gets annoying if you're trying to listen to me, what I'm saying, and the game keeps butting in like that every few seconds, or every time you change a screen. It gets obtrusive, and unobstructive, and you just end up switching it off because you're trying to concentrate on what you're trying to concentrate, and it keeps doing this all the time in the background, and it gets ever more annoying the more it does it. And that's why I've done this bit of review like that, because I don't know about you, but it's annoyed the hell out of me while I've been doing this last sort of 2 or 3 minutes. But it is help. I've turned it right down now so you can't hear it. Some people are going to be okay with it, but that help comes up literally every time you switch from one thing to another one. And you know what it's like when you're playing a new game, you're trying to concentrate and understand what's going on, and then someone tells you something that just seems totally irrelevant, and it just takes you right out of your train of thought, and you can't concentrate. Or I can't. Maybe it's because I've got older. I just found it very difficult. But it's at least you're getting an idea of what the game's like. There's nothing really wrong with the game. In fact, I'm not doing any real justice with what I'm showing you, because it's so deep. There's even your own race has political factions within it, and there's other things you can change about how your society works, like social engineering and all kinds of things. And then you can get different sorts of leaders, scientists you can hire and fire, and well, actually I don't know about fire. You certainly can hire them. There's no point in firing them, is there? You're limited to how many you can have. Yeah, it's just really, really complicated. And it could be a massive time sponge, or it could be the most boring game that you've ever come across, and you're not going to waste any money on it, which is fair enough. But I'm sure you're going to get a good idea from looking at this whether it's the sort of game that's for you. I mean, it's the sort of person that's going to appeal to the sort of older generation that were brought up on all kinds of different sorts of games, and there's no twitch shooting or anything in this, or platforming of any description. There's no skills regarding your reactions. It's all thinking, and that's all there is to it. But there's a lot to think about. The options are many and varied, and that's the beauty of these games. They're open-ended. These games can go on for a very long time, and there are victory conditions, and there's even a menu showing you the victory conditions and things like that. That's a lead recruiting thing. But like I said earlier, it's very difficult to assess how to score this game, because the graphics are really not that important. I mean, you've seen some of the graphics on the older games that I've showed you, but that's a generational thing, isn't it? Because our graphics technology's moved on, and end of the day, it's just like a load of spreadsheets, isn't it, with pretty graphics. And that's what this game is. Lots of stuff happening in the background. So I mean, essentially what you do in this game, and this is why it's called a 4X, is you just explore, colonize, exploit, and kill everything, or negotiate with everything, or overpower everything. It's that simple. And it's a sort of game I do enjoy, but what's detracted from my enjoyment is it really needs mouse support. It's the most desperate thing for me. It desperately needs mouse support, and I'm so disappointed that it doesn't have it, and it could ultimately stop me playing it. I mean, they the manufacturers won't be bothered because I've already paid for it, so it doesn't matter whether I play it or not. They've got what they want, haven't they? But that, I'm not sure if that's a personal thing for me that just wants the mouse, because I'm so used to the mouse, and I'm not used to playing this kind of game on a controller. I have played strategy games on the controller, and not had any problem with them. What was it? Total Annihilation, I think it was, or Supreme Commander, and a couple of others. I've even played Revolution. Was it? No, Civilization Revolution. What am I talking about? Civilization on the old Xbox. But Civilization again's a mouse-controlled one, but they didn't do a bad job on the controller. This is hard for me though on the controller, and we haven't got many fleets going there. I don't know if you noticed that, and not many planets. So that list's gonna get ever longer and longer on the right there about what you've got and what you haven't got. It's only showing you two colonies. I'm up to 3 colonies in the current game that I'm playing. I'm almost 30 hours into, I think. And I've just lost my fleet, so that's put a gap on it. It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult to know whether you're going to enjoy this. But I've already plumbed for it, so it don't matter if I don't play it anymore. I've already committed myself, haven't I? But you're going to be thinking, ooh, shall I spend money on it or not? And hopefully, you should be able to tell if this game's for you. There's no glaring bugs that I've come across. In fact, I haven't come across any bugs, which is a good thing, isn't it, these days? Disappointed that it's got DLC. I just don't agree with DLC. I bought the game. I want the game. I want everything. And if you want to make another one, then make another one. But don't bother with. This is not the sort of game for me where you would want scenarios with it, especially with the sort of like lack of achievements and lack of stats and things like that. It just seems pointless. The whole point of these games is that you're stuck in Galaxy and you sink or swim with what you do, and what you do is you explore, colonize, and you research technology as fast as you possibly can while you're still pleasing your population, because you don't want a revolution on your hands or all like that. And you keep on doing that until you come across an alien race, and hopefully you're going to be bigger and stronger than them, because eventually they will turn on you and they will come after you, especially when space starts getting limited. No pun intended. But even the sort of small and medium games are massive on here, and so that you've got a lot of options. I'd recommend it for anybody that was brought up on the games that I were brought up on and that enjoys the games, but with the view that there's a very good chance that this is never going to get mouse support. So don't buy it unless you're happy with playing on controller, which I'm getting used to, but I'm still finding it hard. And it's hard in a way that I can't. It's difficult to explain. It makes it feel really clunky and not smooth to play. But other than that, it's a great game, and that's all there is to it. So I hope it's been of some use to you, because it is a difficult game to assess. I mean, in half an hour to because it's so big and there's so much to it. I couldn't cover it in 4 hours, not comprehensively, and nobody can. I can only give you the basics, which is what I've given you, and all I can tell you is my feelings on it. And I already expressed that I don't like the way it controls, but I do like the way it plays, and that's all there is to it. But I don't like the help. It's awful. But then I think that if they did a full tutorial that walked you through it, that'd probably be very, very long, and they don't want to do it. I guess there'll be a lot of. It's been out on PC for a while, so if you want to see how the end game works, someone somewhere will be doing a let's play, won't they? And they'll be sitting there for hours, and you'll be able to see more. Anyway, thanks for watching. I think that'll do for me.